Hi guys, this is Miss Sarah from the Barberton Public Library. I know we can't be together this month for book club, but I wanted to do a couple book talks with you about the topic that we would have talked about if we got to meet. So this month we were going to talk about historical fiction, and the historical fiction is really any kind of fiction story that uses some kind of history involved. It could be a place, it could be an event, it could be a certain person, or it could just be the lifestyle of that specific time. So I want you to think about that when I'm talking about the books today, because there's a lot of things going on historically right now for us. So the first book that I have today is called Esperanza Rising. And in this book, Esperanza Ortega always thought that she would get to live the happy life that she always had on her Mexican ranch with her mom and her dad. But there was a horrible tragedy, and her father is murdered. And now, with all of everything that she's ever known slowly being ripped away from her, her and her mom have to flee to California. And it's during the Great Depression, so there isn't a whole lot of places that they can go that might be safe for them. They end up settling in California on a camp for Mexican farm workers. And Esperanza really isn't ready for the hard work and the money struggles or the lack of acceptance that she has to face in this new life. But when even that new life is being threatened, Esperanza has to find a way to rise above everything and overcome the difficult circumstances that her and her mother now face, because it's not just her life that will depend on it. So that is Esperanza Rising. And as you can see, I don't have the actual book of this because the library's closed. I didn't grab a copy before I left, but there are lots of copies of these books on our website. If you go to barbertonlibrary.org, you can download them to any digital device or read them on your computer. And I know there's a lot of different digital copies of this book out there, so you can go ahead and read that one. The next book I want to talk about today is by Alan Grant, and it is Prisoner B3087. And I do have this one, and I apologize if it is showing up backwards for you in the video, but you know, technology. But anyway, so this book is another historical fiction, and it actually takes place during the 1930s in Poland, and it is about a young Jewish boy, Yannick, who ends up being at the mercy of the Nazis. I don't know if you've read any of Alan Grant's other books, but it's very suspenseful. There's a lot going on. Not only has Yannick lost all of the people that he loves, but everything that he had ever had, all of his possessions. And now he has a tattoo on his arm stating that he's Prisoner B3087. That's where that comes from in the title. And as he goes through his new life in these concentration camps, forced from one situation to another, he ends up seeing so much evil that he never even thought he could even imagine. But even within all of that happening, he glimpses these moments of hope during all the horror, and he spends his days is only escaping death, only to confront it again seconds later. And really, it's so hard to think about people actually going through this and trying to maintain who they really are inside. And so it's a very heroic story to tell. So those are the two books that I wanted to talk to you about today. There'll be a couple of PDFs on the website and an activity for you guys to do like I would normally have during book club. So I hope you like these, and if you haven't read them yet, you really should. Thanks.